So today we're going to learn about energy levels and Bohr models, and you're going to need your periodic table to help you with what we learn. So grab a periodic table if you don't have one, and then we'll get the video started. So you already know about energy levels. We taught you last unit that energy levels are just the paths around the nucleus where the electrons orbit. So if you look in the diagram that you have on your paper and you see over here to the right, each of these rings right here, all of those are the energy levels. So this one itself has 3 energy levels, but atoms can have different amounts of energy levels. The reason that we say the word energy in there, though, is those different rings actually have energy in them. But you'll notice that they're kind of different sizes. And so this energy level that's closest to the nucleus, because it's so little, actually has less energy than those energy levels that are farther away from the nucleus. So as the energy levels get bigger, they actually have more energy. So if I asked you how many energy levels does an atom have, it's actually very easy to figure out. All it means is what period is it in on the periodic table. And so you remember a period means a row. So if something is in the 5th period on the periodic table, then it would have 5 rings or 5 energy levels around it. So just check out the row for that. This information together helps us come up with the Bohr model of an atom. And so this gets very specific and shows us the electrons in their correct energy levels. And so the easiest way to remember this is to get the pattern 288 stuck in your head. So you can put 2 electrons in the first energy level. That's the one closest to the nucleus. And then the next one is a little bit bigger, so it can hold 8 electrons. And then the third energy level can hold 8 as well. You can go on and do more electrons from there, but we don't need to get that complicated. So if you just keep 288 in your head, then you'll have everything you need. That helps us to figure out the number of valence electrons, which are just the electrons focused in the outside energy level. So using the Bohr model, whichever electrons are on the end or the outside, those are your valence electrons. And we call the valence shell where those electrons live. So that's the outermost energy level that holds those valence electrons. So if you don't have your periodic table yet, pause the video now and get your periodic table, and then we'll start on the practice together. So if we look at carbon, our first element, the atomic number of carbon is 6 right here, and that tells us that the total electrons that it has is 6. So if I was going to put those into a Bohr model, I would put the first 2 electrons on the first energy level, and then I still have 4 more electrons to go, and so I would put those anywhere on the next energy level. But altogether, I've put 6 electrons in there, and those are all the electrons that carbon has. Now the valence electrons just mean the electrons that are only on this outside ring, and so we put 4 electrons there, and those are the valence electrons. The number of energy levels, remember, means what period is that atom in. And so carbon right here is in the 2nd energy level, or the 2nd period, sorry, which means it has 2 energy levels, and you see those right there in the picture, so we know we did it right. Of those 2 energy levels, valence shell means which one is on the outside, energy level number 1 right here, or energy level number 2. Obviously number 2 is on the outside, so that is the valence shell. So let's try another one. Let's try silicon. If you look on the periodic table, silicon is right here. It has an atomic number of 14, so that means it has 14 electrons. And so now let's see if we can figure out, well, where do they live? So again, start close to the nucleus. There are 2 electrons on the first energy level, but we didn't make it to 14 yet. Our next energy level can hold 8, so let's fill that up. I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Altogether right now you've put 10 electrons in this atom, but you have to go up to 14. So the last 4 are just going to go on the outside energy level. Those electrons that we just put in are our valence electrons, and we put 4 of them there. Altogether, all of my electrons filled up 3 energy levels. There's 3 rings there around the nucleus. Also, remember, silicon right here is in the 3rd period, which tells us we did the energy level number correctly. The valence shell, again, is the third one because of those 3 energy levels that we have. The third one is on the outside. So now what I want you to do is pause the video and try to do these last few on your own. When you're ready, continue to play the video and then check your answers with me. So here are all the answers. See how you did. If you have a question, don't forget, come to class and ask us and we'll help you out.